and welcome back to the channel. So it is Tuesday night and we are live. And so if you are watching live with us, let me know in the comments. Say a hey, say a hi. Let me know where you're watching from. I would love to hear. And so anyway, tonight we are going to be talking about getting back on track with your weight loss. So getting back off track if you've gotten, getting back on track if you've gotten off track. You know, so often people say I'm on a weight loss journey. And, you know, at first when I used to hear that, it used to drive me bonkers, right? Like, I don't know, there was just something about I'm on a journey. And I don't know, I think the thing that used to drive me nuts the most is because most people were on a journey for like, you know, a freaking decade. I never got to my destination. Why? Because I kept getting off track. It's kind of like if you're going to drive from Canada or Michigan to Florida and you never, like, you keep getting off track and you end up in Maine or California or Nevada or South Carolina or Georgia. You know, the only way you're ever going to get to Florida is if you get back on track. And so anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about 5 different tips that you can use to get back on track with your weight loss. And here's what I'll say. You've never gotten too off track to get back on track. You've never gone too far off the deep end to get back on track, okay? And so no matter, you know, all of us typically have something we've started and we haven't finished, or we've gotten off track, unless you were, you know, like the perfectest person in the world. But as far as I know, there's only one perfect person that ever walked this earth, and it wasn't you, and it wasn't me. And, you know, we all get off track, and it is what it is. So tonight we're going to talk about 5 tips, 5 keys to get back on track with your weight loss. Before we dive in though, if you have not joined our growing community here on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, smash the like, the thumbs up, the button. While you're at it, it really helps out the channel and we certainly appreciate it. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive in. So tip number 1, get rid of the all or nothing mentality. That line of thinking, that mentality, that whole thing has got to go. It's got to go. It's got to scramble. It's got to be out of here. Like, bye. See ya. Freaking. Because I cannot stand that mentality. I can't stand it. And I used to be so guilty of it. So guilty of the all or nothing mentality. So guilty of the, you know, I'm all in. I'm going to go for it. Like, let's go. No sugar, no carbs, no fast food, no pizza. I'm not going to eat after dinner time. No nighttime snacking. No candy bars. It was like for 2 days. Or a week maybe. I was like, all right. And then I had none of the sugar and all the good foods. And then after a couple days, or maybe, you know, if I was like full of willpower at that moment in time, a couple weeks max, then I would go the other way. Then I would go all the junk food, all the, you know, none of the working out. Again, it was this all or nothing. And what I found was even when I did lose weight, I didn't maintain it. And I would be on track for a little bit and then I would get off track. And then I would feel so crappy about getting off track that I would just stay off track because it was easier, so I thought, to stay off track than to get back on track in that moment in time. Until I got sick and tired of my fluffy backside. I got sick and tired of squishing out of my clothes. I got sick and tired of having to lay on the bed to button my jeans. I got sick of my fluff that I would start again. And it would be the same cycle of all or nothing, and then I would eventually fall off. And so I'm going to ask you the same question I asked myself 8 years ago. Are you sick of all or nothing doesn't work. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. It doesn't have to be all the sugar, none of the sugar. It doesn't have to be all the carbs, none of the carbs. It doesn't have to be 3 hours of working out or no working out. There's this thing called balance. Balance. And however you lose the weight, you must, like, that's how you're going to have to maintain it. And so get rid of that mindset of all or nothing. Get rid of it. It doesn't have to be there. You don't have to be perfect to lose weight. I lost 161 pounds in 13 months. And those 13 months, it wasn't about me being perfect. It was about me being consistent, because it's never what you do some of the time. It's what you do most of the time. I'm going to say that again. It's never what we do some of the time. It's what we do most of the time. You're not going to get fluffy by eating a donut, just like you're not going to get healthy by doing a workout. It's what we do most of the time. It's what we're consistent with over time that gives us our health and our results, not what we do on a one-off here and there. All right. So get rid of the all or nothing mentality. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Number 2, don't expect perfection. It's not about, and I touched on this in number 1 a minute. I was looking at my notes. I'm like, I didn't want to go too far. I'm like, I think this is my next point. I didn't want to go too far into it and then, merge 1 and 2. So it's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's not about, for you to lose weight, it's not about you starting to lose weight and getting to the end without any mess ups. That's not what it's about, because you're human and I'm human and we're going to make mistakes. And no matter how good our intentions are, we're going to have moments where we give in and, we want to give up and we falter and we eat the cookie and we do the things. And listen, that's not giving you or me a free pass to go mess up, but it's also being realistic. It's also realizing that we're not perfect human beings. And it's never about being perfect. It's about making progress. And it's not about if we mess up. It's about if we mess up, how quickly can we recover? How quickly can we get back on track when we mess up? How quickly can we brush ourselves off and keep going when we screw up? Can we just have the one cookie instead of the whole pack? Can we have a bite of the peanut butter instead of the whole jar? Can we, it's about progress, not perfection. Listen, again, I lost 161 pounds in just over a year, not being perfect, but I was good more. I was on track more than I was off track, clearly. Okay. But it's not about perfection. Some of you guys have put this standard on yourself of perfect. And when you don't hit that standard of perfect, F it. What is this all for? I'm not doing this no more. Like, we beat ourselves up so bad when we mess up that we're our biggest critic. And then we don't want to let ourselves down again, so we don't even get restarted. But have you noticed yet there's this thing inside of you that wants to be healthy, that wants to be smaller, that wants to be able to shop in any store, that wants to actually get dressed for dates without Spanx underneath? Have you noticed that thing inside of you, no matter how many times you fail, it's not going away yet? And if you don't do something about it, like, you will go to the grave with that thing inside of you wanting, knowing that you were made for more. And so don't expect perfection. It's about progress, not perfection. And so when you restart after messing up, when you get back started, it's like drawing a line in the sand and saying, okay, that was yesterday. That mess up, what triggered that? Learn from it. Recognize, was it because you got hangry? Was it because you didn't plan? Was it because you had junk in the house and you shouldn't have had it? Was it because you went to a party hungry and starving? Like, what was it? Was it because you were trying to cope or self-medicate with food? Like, what was the trigger that caused you to do that? So learn from it. Don't limit yourself from it. You're going to make mistakes. The key is to learn from them, not create limiting beliefs from them. All right, number 3. This one, so freaking huge. Planning. Planning. And in all capital letters right next to planning, I have everything. Okay, most people don't plan to fail. Most people fail to plan. That is the truth. And this is the case in any area that you want to succeed. Like, I used to think that, I don't know, I had these delusional thoughts that I didn't have to plan. Like, I could just wing it. I could just throw a bunch of crap against the wall and hope for something sticks. I could just, I don't know. I don't know what I thought. And like, I was a businesswoman. So I had learned through business that I had to plan. Like, if I wanted this business, this baby business to get big, then I had to plan. I had to plan all the things, right? And I did that inside of business, but for some reason, when it came to my weight loss, planning, that's not fun. I don't want to be one of those chicks that's planning what I'm going to eat, when I'm going to eat it, what workout I'm doing. Like, it just didn't sound like any fun. It didn't sound spontaneous. But when I got sick and tired enough, and I went back to the core principles that I know are success principles, and I thought, Carmen, like, how long do you want to wing this? Like, how long do you want to continue to go around this circle of frustration? Like, when do you want to finally get results? And eventually I got so sick and tired of my 22 size butt that I started planning. I started meal prepping. I started making grocery lists. I started planning what food was going to be in my house and what food wasn't going to be in my house. Because believe it or not only planning when it comes to the food you're going to have, but also planning what food you're not. If you have trigger foods inside of your house that trigger you, you need to freaking get rid of them. But that takes planning. So I had to plan every Monday to clean out my pantry. If anything had collected from grandparents, from neighbors, from parties, from my lack of willpower, it had to go. But that took planning. Planning when I was going to work out, moving my body 6 days a week, 30 minutes a day. I had a newborn and an infant, a newborn, and a toddler. Took planning to figure out when I was going to work out in between the potty training and the breastfeeding and the sleep training and all the things. It took time, spending time with them. It took time to figure I had to plan when the workouts were going to come. I had to plan what I was going to eat in the middle of a crazy day, right? Chasing my son around who was potty training with no clothes on, cleaning up pee. Like, if I didn't plan what I was going to eat, I would have had all the things go in my mouth. So it was planning. And again, most people never plan to fail, but they do fail to plan. Most people put more planning into their vacation than they do into their health. Most people put more planning into their wedding than they ever do into their health. But that what you won't plan for, you won't have success in. It's just really that simple. So that's number 3. Number 4, okay? This one, oh man, there's so many of these. Like, I go through these now and I'm like, Carmen, no wonder you failed for so long. I didn't want to do hardly any of them. But when I started doing them, ta-da! I had success. I finally lost the weight. No way. It's like, this stuff actually works. Go figure. All right. So number 4 is hire a coach. Hire a coach. Have a tribe. Have a team of people. Like, make sure you're flocking with people that are flocking in the same direction. Okay? Because you're flocking with people. Like, you are flocking in a direction. Just most of us are flocking in the overweight, fluffy, eat whatever I want, fad diet. Most of us are flocking with that flock. We're all flock. It's like a duck. We're all flocking with somebody. Are you flocking? Is the flock you're flocking with going in the direction that you want to go? The flock you're flocking with right now. Look at it. Are you flocking with people that are just gaining weight every year, that aren't serious about their goals, that talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk? Who are you flocking with? Because most of us are not flocking with people that are going in the same direction with their health. And this is so hugely important. And it's easier than it's ever been because we live in the world of this day and age of technology and we all have access to people. Like right now, think about it. You're wherever you're at. I'm where I'm at. Some of us are across the globe, across the United States, different countries even. And we get to connect through this thing called the internet and technology and all the things that it is. And so there's no reason, back in the day, like my mom, my grandma, like she had things like Weight Watchers, Curves, where they maybe had a meeting once a week, or she just, Richard Simmons sweating with the oldies. Like that's what they had. No, now we have all this, we have no excuse not to stay connected and not to be flocking with people who are going in the same direction. And so who are you flocking with? If you don't have a coach, get one. Get one. Oh, Carmen, that's too expensive. Don't be penny smart and dollar stupid. How much money have you wasted on diets over the years trying to get to your goal? Just freaking get somebody who knows what they're doing already and have them help you get there. Not to mention, the sooner you get to your health goal, statistically, the less money you're going to spend on fad diets, things that aren't working, and health bills in the future. So again, don't be penny smart and dollar stupid. And that's what I had to look in the mirror and tell myself. When I got started, like I would pick and choose, right? Like, okay, I'm going to do this part, but I'm not going to do that shake part because that costs money. And I don't want to spend money because what if I fail again? And I had every excuse. And then when I would spend money, I wouldn't use the stuff because I didn't have a coach and nobody had hold me accountable. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Get a coach. Get a team of people. Get a tribe. Get some people that are flocking in the same direction, and a coach that's going to cheer you on when you need cheering on, and who's going to kick your butt when you need your butt kicked, because you and I both know we all need our butt kicked from time to time. We do. It's just human nature, because we all go back to the all or nothing mentality, the getting off track because we expect perfection, not progress. We don't plan, and then we don't have a coach, and then we wonder why we're on the cycle. All right, I just drew together all 4 points in 3 sentences. All right, number 5, last and final point, is remind yourself why you're doing this. Like, why are you losing weight? Why are you on this health journey? And there's 2 questions that I always love to ask myself when it comes to my why. And everybody's why is going to be different. Listen, your why doesn't have to be noble. It just has to motivate you to get off the couch and to get out of bed. Doesn't have to be noble. It can be that you want to fit in some skinny jeans. It can be that you want to shop it can be you want to get back into your pre-baby clothes. It can be that you want to actually be able to get dressed without Spanx underneath. It can be that you want to look good in a bathing suit. It can be because you're for your kids. It can be you have a wedding coming up and you want to look your best. What motivates you can be vain. It doesn't, all it has to do, your motivation simply have to get you out of bed. That's what it has to do, so that you accomplish the goal, and our motivations will change throughout the years. Why I work out today is different than why I started working out 8 years ago. And so these are the 2 questions that I always ask myself. What will happen if I don't get back on track? What will happen if I don't plan? What will happen if I don't work out 6 days a week, 30 minutes a day? I'm going to lose my muscle. And I'm going to be a weak, older, mature, wise woman who needs somebody else to get my suitcase down from the overhead bin because I physically can't do it. Listen, you need to work out just to maintain your muscle, okay? You need to weight train to gain muscle. If these people are like, oh, you can lose weight without working out. I'm like, yeah, you can, but good luck keeping any muscle without working out, fool. Like, you ain't gonna keep muscle if you don't work out. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. But what will happen if I don't get back on track? What will happen if I don't plan? What will happen if I don't lose the weight? Well, for me, 8 years ago, at 288 pounds, morbidly obese, what'll happen if I don't lose the weight? Well, I'm probably gonna have knee issues. Probably going to have back issues. I'm probably not going to be around for my kids and grandkids that long, because you don't see a lot of older women at morbidly obese walking around. Those are the facts. So what will happen if I don't lose the weight? I'm setting a bad example for my kids, and they're 400% more likely to have health issues with their weight. What will happen if I don't lose the weight? I'm probably going to get diabetes. Because it's what happens to morbidly obese people. Eventually, they get it. What will happen if I do? And then, so that's the first question. What will happen if I don't? And then you can insert your thing. And the second question is, what will happen if I do? What will happen if I do get back on track? What will happen if I do start planning? What will happen if I do plan my meals and my exercise and my water? What will happen if I do hire a coach that has a track record? There's a lot of coaches running around on a lot of different subjects. And I think being a coach is amazing and great. And there's a great place for them in this world, just like teachers and law enforcement and even politicians. Like, those things are needed, right? But they're not all created equal, is the truth of the matter. And it's your job to make sure you do your due diligence to find the one that can help you, okay? So what will happen if I do hire a coach? What will happen if I do lose these 10 pounds, the last 10 pounds, or the first 10, or 50, or 100, or 200? And the answer to those two questions are going to make it very clear on what you should be doing. So if you're watching this right now and you've gotten off track with your weight loss, get back on track. Like, what are you waiting for? The motivation bug is not coming. You're not going to just wake up tomorrow and be motivated to get back on track. It's about making the decision that lines up with the future that you want to live. It's about making the decision to do the hard. It's about making the decision to make yourself and your health a priority. You got one chance at this life. One chance. Is losing weight hard? Yeah. Is being overweight hard? Yeah. Pick which one. Which hard do you want? The hard of being overweight and the stuff that comes with it, or the hard of using your self-control muscle and actually getting the weight off of your butt? They both have a hard. You just get to pick which one you want. And so I want to end with this. You are worth it. You're worth it. You're worth investing the time. You're worth getting back on track. You're worth persisting through the failure to get to success. You're worth it. And we are here every single Tuesday night with inspirational, we have interviews, we have success tips, we have healthy cooking options that we throw at you. Once in a while, we'll throw in a delicious but unhealthy recipe. Why? Because it's balanced and there's just some recipes you need in life, like my carrot cake recipe that's here on the channel. It is the most amazing carrot cake you have ever put in your mouth. I know I just talked about getting back on track and now I'm telling you about carrot cake. It's balanced. It's all balanced, baby. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. We will be back live next Tuesday night. Don't forget, Wednesdays at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have another episode of The Biggest Transformation, and we will see you then.